Hello, good afternoon. This is Michael Kinnett with iTNet Networks again. It's time for our weekly live stream, the iTNet Tech Updates. We're going to spend a few minutes talking about some news in the cybersecurity and technology world. I'll share some tips and then we'll open it up for any questions that you might have for us, technology or cybersecurity related or otherwise. So for the news, I just saw this morning, in fact. A Russian hacktivist group, so not government affiliated, but a group based in Russia, recently attacked and took down many of the Norway government sites with a massive denial of service attack. This possibly in retaliation for talks with joining NATO. So there's still some stuff going on, and denial of service, for those of you that don't know what denial of service is, it's when they use bots or systems to basically overwhelm a system. So they initiate remote connections to essentially flood the connection to that device, causing that device to be taken offline, taking those websites or servers offline. So this was a pretty big attack by this group. So it happens all over the world. It's still very much happening over in the Russia and European area related to the conflicts over there. All right. Now onto the tip for today. So many of our clients have workers that work from home, either part-time or full-time. Some of our staff work remotely, and you may work remotely in your job. And one of the things that comes up frequently as we're helping and working with these remote workers is internet related, right? There's concerns and questions about, is their internet fast enough? Things seem slow. I'm having problems connecting to this and that. And that's one of the big things that we assist with from time to time. So I want to spend a few minutes talking about some tips or some things that you can look at if you have concerns about your internet connection at your house as you're working remotely. So first, it's important to know what speed you have, right? If you're, you can have DSL, usually with a phone company. AT&T, CenturyLink are two of the big players in that market. Just know DSL's technology can have faster downloads, but very slow uploads. So you may only have 1, 2, or 3 megabyte upload speed compared to a coax connection or a cable connection with, Cox Communications, Spectrum. There's others throughout the country, right? Cable providers typically, it's a faster download than upload, but your uploads are going to be 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 megabits per second. And so much faster upload speed. And where that comes into play is if you're sending files, if you're sending a large email document or uploading some files to your remote workspace, your remote server, your file share, OneDrive, any of those, and it seems to be taking a while to send that file, probably it's because you have a slow upload speed, because the upload speed is when you're sending the data out. The download speed is downloading files, watching video, consuming the content. So it's important to know what speed you're paying for so that as you're running tests and looking at things to see okay, well, is the problem that I'm not paying for enough speed, or is the problem that, I'm not getting the speed that I'm paying for, right? So that's one of the first steps. If you find that, maybe you're paying for a 100 meg download and a 10 megabit upload, and you find that you're consistently getting less speeds, right? You can go to speedtest.net, testmy.net. There's other websites for doing speed tests. And I would recommend, if you're having concerns with your speed, go to more than one site, because sometimes one site doesn't seem to be working and another one will give you more accurate data. So I usually will go to 2 or 3 when I'm troubleshooting problems and kind of figure out which one maybe, if you're testing 3 and 2 of them seem to be similar and the other one's not, well, I would go with the 2 that are similar. So if you find that you're not getting the speeds that you should be, one of the first steps is going to be reset your modem and reset your router. And then once that's done, then do the test again. And what that does is, in resetting those, is it clears out temporary files and cache and flushes out all the stuff, just like restarting your computer, which we talked about last week, right? Sometimes you just need to reboot to kind of clear out what's in the memory and get a fresh start. And sometimes there's things that cause modems and routers to not function as they should. And that reboot will help reset it. If you find that you're still not getting the speeds that you're supposed to, one of the other things to check is, how far away are you? If you're running on wireless, Are you in the same room as your wireless, or are you completely across the house? And you can try relocating your computer, move your router a little bit closer, and then do those tests from different distances from that router to see if the problem is distance related. If you find that Wi-Fi is not fast enough for you and you're having issues, use an Ethernet cable. Most computers have an Ethernet port on them. Some of the newer laptops, the thinner and the lighter ones, do not. And so you may have to buy an adapter, and there's plenty of USB Type-C or USB regular adapters that will convert that to an Ethernet connection to give you a hardwired Ethernet connection. That's always going to be faster and more stable than Wi-Fi. One of the other things to check is your browser, right? So you might be using Chrome, Firefox, if you're on Mac, Safari, Microsoft Edge. Internet Explorer is no longer. They completely discontinued that last week. And so whatever browser you're using, if you're having problems with a website loading, you can try a different browser, because some websites don't function as well with certain browsers and work great with others, depending on how the developers wrote the code for those sites. So that's one thing you can test. You can also go in and clear out the cookies and temporary settings in your browser. So if you go into the settings, there's an option to clear the cookies. And what that'll do is that'll clear all those temp files. You will have to re-log in to whatever websites you were logged into, because that's part of the cookies. But that will sometimes flush out some of those issues and those temporary files from those websites, and will get you to where you're back working as you should. Another thing to check with your browser is look and see what type of plugins or add-ons you have enabled. You may have some turned on that are taking up some of your resources that you don't need, that you don't use. And so you can turn those off and disable them. Another thing you could consider is adding an extension for blocking ads. Many websites have ads that load at the top or bottom or on the sides, and by enabling an ad blocker, it's going to block those from loading and block those from using up some of your internet speed and some of your local resources. You can also, with your browser, make sure it's up to date. Chrome and Firefox especially, they come out with updates all the time. And so make sure that you're downloading updates and that you're getting things to where they're on the current version. That will solve some issues as well. And then if you find that you've done all these things and everything seems to be fine, and you still just seems like things take a while to load, it might be worth calling your internet provider and asking if you can negotiate for a higher speed. Sometimes if you call and say, look, I'm not happy with my service, I'm thinking of switching to a competitor for better speed, better stability, a lot of times they'll negotiate with you on price, and sometimes you can even get much faster speed for the same as what you're paying for. Also, I would recommend if you're in a market where fiber optic internet is available, that is the fastest and most stable. That's the one that I definitely recommend for my business and for anybody at their home. So if that is an option, talk to your internet provider about what speeds are available for your fiber optic internet in your neighborhood. Hopefully that helped answer some of your questions, maybe on some things that you can do to troubleshoot as you're trying to get fast and stable internet as you're working remotely. Let's see, let me go to the comments here and see if there's any questions so far. I haven't seen anything come through. So those of you on Twitter, if you're watching this stream on Twitter, just tweet, at iTNet Networks. We'll respond, answer your questions that way. LinkedIn and Facebook, we'll try to respond in the comment thread. So while I'm waiting to see if there's any other questions come through, I do want to remind, we do have a webinar coming up here in July, when we do them once a month, educational webinars for businesses in Nevada. And this next one, we're kind of excited about. We've been talking about doing something with this for a while, and we're going to be talking about SD-WAN. And the topic is going to be how to save time and money with your business using SD-WAN. And we are very privileged to be able to have an expert from Sophos, one of our partners, who's going to be coming and talking about SD-WAN in general, specific also some about how Sophos handles SD-WAN with their hardware and software. So SD-WAN offers a ton of benefits on being able to merge different internet connections and have greater stability, greater speed, and less downtime for your business. So we'll be talking and digging way more in depth on that. The webinar is going to be July 28th at 1 p.m. Pacific time. And so we're going to be, like I said, teaching, educating, helping people understand what SD-WAN is and what it can do for your business. And we'll make sure that we have time at the end to answer any questions related to it as well. So I will make sure in the comments we get a link to the registration. Once again, that's going to be, we're going to be talking about how to save time and money using SD-WAN. And it's going to be July 28th at 1 p.m. Pacific time. And the link will be in there. If still haven't seen any questions come in, so if you guys think of any questions, or those of you that are watching this not live, maybe after the fact, throw them in the comment line, or you can direct message me. I love talking with everybody about cybersecurity and technology in general. Glad to answer questions, no matter what the topic is. Thank you. I hope you guys have a wonderful 4th of July. So glad that we live in the country that we do and are able to enjoy the freedoms that we have. So God bless America and enjoy the 4th. We'll talk to you guys later.